Hello, everybody. My name is Dan. I am here at the 2025 AAMI Exchange in New Orleans, and this is AAMI News and Conversation. I'm here with special guest Ashley O'Mara, who's the 2025 winner of AAMI's HTM Leadership Award. Congratulations, it was well-deserved.
Thank you so much. It was such an honor to receive that award.
Yeah, so Ashley, tell me a little bit about your career and what led up to you getting this award, this milestone this morning.
Yes, so I actually learned about the field of healthcare technology management from a guest speaker at one of my undergraduate classes. And the second that he came and presented on this field of healthcare technology management, I was sold and learned about a master's program that I applied into and then was taken with the VA in one of the medical centers in New England. Worked there as a trainee for 2 years through that program while I, at night, went and took my master's classes. Eventually, after 2 years, got my master's degree and then decided that I wanted to stay with the VA organization. I took my first staff biomedical engineering job out in Western New York, where I worked for a couple of years, really gaining some of the fundamental skills of a clinical engineer in a hospital. And from there, I had the opportunity to move to Florida, where I worked as a supervisor of a department of around 15 individuals, which was a wonderful experience. It was a new part of the country for me. I was able to work with a different culture and a different area of the country and really learn what was going to make me successful as a leader in that area of the country. From there, I then decided that I wanted to start a family, and originally was from the Northeast, so had a
Back you
great
went.
yes, had a great opportunity to be a chief of a department, which is the next ladder of progression, and did that for several years back in Connecticut. And after that, loved it, loved New England. Had the opportunity to apply for a regional healthcare technology manager role and have been doing that for the last 8+ years. I have a team of about 120 HTM professionals across the New England states, and I really enjoy every day working with that team and improving patient care and the clinical provider's experience with technology.
That's absolutely brilliant, and thank you for telling that story.
Mhm.
And you've been with the VA in total for 15 years now, right?
Yeah, actually, I think I just hit 17, and then if you count my trainee years, I'm almost at that 20 mark.
So I'm selling you a little short. You've got quite the track record here. That's
Yes.
impressive. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So you talked a little bit about all those leadership positions you held throughout this career. What advice do you have for the folks who are tomorrow's leaders? Some of them may be in this conference hall right now. What would you say to them?
So to the future HTM leaders, I really just don't leave any opportunity on the table. So you are going to be given some, challenges throughout your career, embrace them and figure out how to, meet with the clinicians and solve that need and really get back on the front lines. Even though you're a leader, really getting to know what your staff's challenges are and having that conversation with them on the front lines is going to help empower you as a future leader to remove those barriers and those obstacles that they're facing and figure out innovative ways to make their jobs and their lives easier, which in turn makes clinicians' lives easier and the patients that we serve.
Gotcha. And you actually put, this advice, these principles in practice because you're instrumental in developing the HTM leadership course. Tell me about the process as that came together and the need you saw in the community.
Yeah, so I have the opportunity, I co-chair our biomedical engineering recruitment and retention work group at a national level for the VA. And as a part of that, we very quickly realized we had extremely knowledgeable healthcare technology leaders in the organization, but we needed to give them a very specific leadership development course on HTM and those key principles so that as they moved through their career, they had the skills and the tool set that they needed to be successful in those jobs.
And actually take that next step.
Yes, yep, and feel comfortable and ready. So we built the curriculum. It's a 3-day class. We've held it both in person and virtual, depending. We usually offer it each way every year. And we bring in some of our really strong healthcare leaders to teach specific courses for leadership development in that HTM world. And it's a lot of technical, it's soft skills, it's how to build a team, how to do budgeting, service contract management, just all of the fundamentals that you wouldn't get in a traditional leadership course, but are really key to being successful in HTM.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a great deal of sense. And I imagine feedback has been good.
Yes, we get lots of great feedback, but I will say before we host the course twice a year, we do go back and look at the curriculum and update it to see what's changed in our organization, what's changed in the healthcare technology management industry, just to make sure that that next class is getting the latest and greatest information from the folks that are teaching the course.
Understood. Thank you.
Mhm.
I do want to dig into a question I asked a moment ago, right? Which is, advice for leaders, right? There's something specific, working with, interfacing with, the leaders above you, often C-suite.
Mhm.
That is not always easy, right? In your experience, what does it take to, build those relationships and interface with the C-suite in a way that they end up understanding your needs and then actually trusting you, right, to fulfill your expectations and to apply your expertise as needed? What's that take?
So I would say making sure they know what you do at the hospital. And then if you feel oftentimes that your skill set's underutilized, bringing that case to them and saying, here's a problem I can solve for you, and here's how I can do it, and here's what I need. And as long as you deliver those to them and provide them, deliverables on time and really gathering that feedback from clinical folks and solving the problem, you will ultimately be asked in the future to help solve another difficult problem, which is sometimes outside of our realm, but we are problem solvers by nature. And so we oftentimes in healthcare get pulled into, fixing things that are not necessarily our lane, but that's really where you build that trust from your leadership and they realize just how widespread the HGM knowledge and skill set is and how it can help their healthcare organizations in the future.
Understood. Well, Ashley O'Mara, thank you for your time. Congratulations on winning the HTM Leadership Award, and thank you for joining me at the AAMI Exchange.
Thanks for having me.